Good afternoon, and welcome to the Conversation with Al McFarlane. I am W.D. Foster Graham. I'm the book review editor for Insight News, and we welcome you to this BookChat Thursday edition of the Conversation with Al McFarlane, where we have stimulating, thought-provoking, inspiring, and stimulating conversation, as well as informative. Now, if you appreciate our content, you can like, share, and subscribe to the Insight News Minnesota channel, where we are live streamed. And also, since we have exceeded 1,200 subscribers, we're shooting for 1,000. So, hey, you can leave a comment. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Now, for our book chat Thursday, it is my pleasure to introduce a man that is very passionate about what he does, and he shares that passion. His name is Mayong Nyma. He was born December 16th, 1993, into a nomadic family in Latog, Kham, Tibet. His homeland is a place of lush green meadows, vibrant flowers, and majestic mountains with flowing water and a tranquil environment. As a nomad, his family tended herds of yaks, sheep, horses, and Tibetan mastiffs. From a young age, he was deeply involved with these animals, herding yaks and caring for his dogs. These experiences were part of his fondest childhood memories, and he many times wishes he could return to relive them. His journey to India was fraught with challenges. He encountered numerous difficulties, including leeches that went unnoticed for days, which led to serious health issues. But by the time he reached Nepal, he required several months of hospitalization to treat wounds and infections, and that was a painful ordeal. Upon arriving in India, he completed his education at TCV School, Suja, and during his time there, he played a key role in establishing a volunteer service foundation with the encouragement and support from his friends and his teacher, Mr. Nyma Sering. And through his collective efforts, they rescued many animals, including cows, bulls, dogs, cats, even birds. And later, while studying at the Central Institute for Higher Tibetan Studies in Sarah, he founded the Sarah Animal Rescue Team. And this initiative has been very rewarding, allowing him to save numerous animals. So through his life, he strived to uphold strong moral values and make a positive impact. Even during school vacations, he volunteered at old age homes. His passion for animals and his desire to help others continue to guide his actions. And his current dream is to establish a rescue team in the United States to further his mission of helping animals in need. And it is my great pleasure, it is such an honor to introduce Mayong Nyma.
Thank you so much.
Hi, son.
Hi.
It is a pleasure to have you on our show and just appreciate your passion for animals because I read in your book the animals, no, they can't communicate the way we can, but yet they do. And something that we often take for granted when it comes to animals here on the planet.
Yes.
So what, if I may ask, what motivates you to volunteer specifically for animals, even when you have the other responsibilities over and above to take care of?
Um. Hello, Tashidele. My name is Mayong Nyma. I'm from Tibet and currently live in Minnesota. I have deep love for animals. So my book is mentioned in Inside newspaper last year, and even though having this great opportunity to tell my stories and life stories about the animals through this but animals cannot speak through mouth, but they can speak through different way, right? So representing the voiceless, I would like to representing the voiceless animals, innocent, this one. Especially WD. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. WD, to uh, give me opportunity. That means you guys are animal lover, and you guys have compassion, kindness towards the animals. So thank you for having me here. So this I just want to tell you for small things, small message. So I was born in Tibet, nomad family in Tibet, right? We do have so many yaks, sheep, goat, lamb in when I was my childhood. So I just been India for study. So this time in India they have so many stray dog bull on the street, right? So sometimes the some cars hitting accident or what else when they get small wound nobody help, so they just running around with the wound, and they just need help, right? So but they gonna speak, so I feel all the pain. And when I was in school I always see so many stray animals, and first time I went try to help the stray animals and they just try to bite me. So after 2 weeks, when I've been there, they move with their tails and jump, and they just give me the happiness, and they just show me the feelings. So everybody needs happiness. So that's why I love to help with the animals. So even the ants, they running around and they just try to get some food, and they just happy. They just need happy life. So I just been many countries, like many places, and when I've been in nice places today, when I come back tomorrow, I get super tired and I don't want to work tomorrow, right? When I work with the animals, I never get tired because they just give me energy. They just make me more happy. So that's why I love to work with the innocent animals. So
Oh,
that's
well, definitely appreciate your passion for caring for animals. When you were talking about the animals that are around in India, in your book, you talk about the dogs you rescued that had infections by maggots and the fact that you remove the maggots without killing them. So readers like to know why do you do that and what happens to those maggots after you remove them?
oh, interest question. So first time in my school campus, I was studying in TCW school Suja. So in our campus, there are so many stray animals, and sometimes they get a small problem like small wound, so nobody help. And inside wound, they have so many mega, right? So my teachers, my staff members, my classmate or schoolmate, they everybody help me to help the stray dogs because everybody have compassion, everybody have kindness. So first time when I try to take this dog to the animal hospital, and sometimes inside the one they have so many mega, right?
Mhm.
So when I've been animal hospital, the doctors and nurse they just use the liquid is called TT oil, or sometimes they just use the ivermectin. They just put in the wound and they just kill all the maggot for the treatment. And when I come back to schools, and after a few weeks, the dog recover very good, and they just playing around and just running, right? So everybody feels so happy, and everybody just tell me, inspire me. They just, oh, Mayong Nyma, Nyma, you're doing a very great job, right? The reality, I don't get happiness because in my Buddhist philosophy, we always think about all the living being has the same feelings.
Mm.
So the difference is only small and big, right?
Mm.
So when I remember I killed so many maggots, I really don't get the real happiness, and I will always remember that. Oh, I just killed so many maggots because I live in mountains. We never saw. I just in my when I was born in Tibet. I'm from we live in mountains and we only eat the big animals. Like we never eat the like seafood in my hometown, people.
Uh,
So that's why next time I try to research about the maggot, and then I just put all the megan from the wound, and I just I just give them some. My national food is called samba. Samba is barley powder. Some container. I just put all the maggot from some container, and I just put a little bit samba inside this container, right? So it take 12 days to get housefly. So I just put small holes to contain this container and just put all the maggot inside this container and just put some barley powder. And it takes 12 days to get housefly. After 12 days, they all getting housefly. So then I get the real happy. I don't have any regret in my life. So after housefly, I don't care because I don't get by myself, right? One day I have to go through this way. So, but anyway, so that's the things what I'm doing.
Oh, in other words, it's all about life.
It's all about the life. Absolutely.
Thank you. Um, so tell us about your rescue organization that you started while you were in India.
When I was in India, I was studying in TCWAM school soldier. So this book is because not only for me. This is because my teachers, they support me, and my schoolmates always support me. When I work with the animals, everybody help me to help these poor innocent animals. So this is like teamwork. If I already work with the animals, if you guys have no compassion, no kindness towards the animals, I don't get any opportunity. Even I don't get this opportunity. That means teamwork, good society, nice society, right? So when I was in school, everybody helped me to work, help with the animals. So like this, first time when I try to catch the dogs, we don't have much facility, and I just always use my hand and some other stuff, right? So first time when I try to help this dog and try to catch this dog, the dog don't know me, so they just try to safety by themselves, right? So safety is first, and they just try to bite me. So I just catch this dog and just bring to the hospital and treatment and everything, right? So after a few weeks when I've been there, they just move their tails and just give me happiness. So like this. And when I was in India, in school campus or village, they have so many stray dog on the street. So this time we just celebrate the World Rabies Day, September 28th, because that's time the rabies vaccination is produced, right? So that's why we always celebrate this one, and we always try to tell more information about the animals, right? Because some of the diseases came from the animals. So these uh, value things is not only for the animals. This is for the people, and this is for the society, right? Because animals don't have disease, then people don't get the disease too. So every year we try to put the rabies vaccination for all the stray animals whenever it's in India. And sometimes each year, yeah, every year. But sometimes when they get trouble, we always try to help these dogs. But I just want to thank you all those innocent animals, because today I get opportunity to share my life story with animals because of them, and I get the happiness because of them. If they have no innocent poor animals, I don't have opportunity to help them. When I do the compassion kindness with animals, they make me more happy. So I need happy. Everybody need happy life. So just take this opportunity and just try to do compassion, kindness. Then they all make you happy. So I want to tell those innocent animals, thank you so much for them. Right?
That's right. And it's just a matter of how we appreciate everything on our planet. No, not just what we make as far as cities and stuff like that, but the animals who are also there. So, which brings me to my next question, because you mentioned the importance of kindness and compassion toward the animals. And so, as people, how do you think we can better show that?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, thank for your question. I think compassion and kindness are key to find happiness. If we don't have those values, it's hard to help animals or people who are in need. Compassion, kindness help us put others first. I created a better, more harmonious society. Even everyone want to be happy, and happy those value is important for that. So the compassion and kindness is key to get happiness. This is source of happiness, source of happy, like this.
Indeed. And it makes me think of there is a quote from your book that says this book is kindness in words creates confidence, kindness in thinking creates profoundness, kindness in giving creates love.
Yes, yes, yes. That's very true.
So now, question. Now for the people who are reading your book, who are out there, what do you hope they're going to learn from the stories you share about the relationship between humans and animals? Because again, it's called affection between human and animals and those relationships.
Yes, very interesting. So I don't expect every readers of my book to become veterinary doctor or work with animals. I don't hope like this. But I have a hope another way. And I have a request. Um for example, like for a small example, drive slow for your own safety and innocent stray animals. In the United States, thousands of animals are losing their life through car accident, right? Every day. But sometimes people are driving like normally and they just hit the stray animals and they just think that, oh, it's okay because I don't kill them because they're just moving, they're just going around like this. But we never know the stories after car accident, right?
That's right.
So so for example, like some area the weather is too hot, and when they get the car accident, small things, and they just make me a small injury or whatever, right? And after a small wound or whatever, after nobody this area nobody help these dogs. So not only dogs, the bulls and other animals, right? So the inside the wound they get in the maggot because of the weather and another country. So some animal stories like inside the maggot, and maggot eat the wound slowly and slowly, and they get
Mhm.
ingestion, and after many days, the months, they're losing their life through this painful situation. But people don't know what's going on, the first things, right? So it's okay. Everybody don't know what's happened next time, right? Next time, if you get any car accident with the animals, just try to call the veterinary and just try to complete your things and be compassion, be kindness. Then you don't have any regret in your life. I know what's going on. I don't know anything what's going next, but it's okay. If you make a mistake, this is not this is not mistake. If you make again mistake, this is make mistake, right?
Mhm.
So first time is okay. Everybody is going like this one, but I just hope everyone be compassion and kindness and just try to help those animals. Just try to call the animal hospital. What else, right? So like this is small example.
And no, it's just little things that make a difference. And so, um, when I was also reading your book, I think about that when it came to animals, they appreciate, since they can't communicate the way we can, they show their little different little ways of showing affection. Now, when you were talking earlier about the about the stray dogs and stuff, So for you, what did it take to gain the animal's trust? Because I know that may be a big thing especially if an animal's sick or if an animal's wounded.
Yes. Sorry. The animals like our kids because it takes time to spend. If we spend more time with the animals, then they can understand slowly, but they don't have ability to too smart, right? In this world, most smart is people, but too much using the brain is not too nice, right?
Mhm,
Sometimes just try to use your heart, but
mhm,
then you get the real happiness, right? So the animals need time, and the first time when I try to help them, they don't know. I already told the animal try to bite me back, right? So when the time comes, every time when I try to help them and talk slowly and same like your kids and just be compassion, just love them and just understand them. If they try to bite you, it's okay. They just are animal because they have a lack the ability to thinking, thinking skill. But they when they trust you, then it's real trust. They don't have second thoughts. So that's why it take time. It's only the time manage. So time comes, I'm sure animals love you the all core of their heart. So the
indeed, they do.
difference is only time. If you spend more time with the animals, then when they know and they trust you, then they really trust you or love you, whatever core of their heart. So they never use their brain like we human be, right?
In other words, it's not about the brain; it's how they feel.
Huh?
So, in other words, it's not so much how they think or their brain, but it's how the animals feel
Yes,
when they're
yes,
around you.
yes, yes.
Definitely. So now, that being said, do you have any plans for the future? Related to the animal welfare or the animal care that you talk about in your book.
Oh yeah. I always have very big ambition or big dreams to help animals. So I want to buy a big place in Minnesota to build a animal shelter or animal free hospital. I want to help thousands animals in my future because I know I just need the happiness and I I always know this the animals give me more happy and they just need happy too. When they get happy, I get happy. Same. So I really love core of my heart to the animals and I want to do more project about the animals in future. And I just want to share animals the situation, the problems, everything to my friends, my community, and our community, and all the people. The world is same, right? So everybody are like brother and sisters. So just education is I can share my life stories, the animals' life stories. What I know, I want to share them, right? So and then I always try to learn from others too.
Yes.
So the thing is, I want to make a big animal hospital, and I'm looking for the big place, right? So I want help animals and in Minnesota, and the branch I want to make in Mexico, the India, in Nepal, the branch. That's my dream, because the every country have different situation. In here, they have so many shelters, but the animals need more adopter, right? So another place, like another country, like in India and Nepal, they have less shelters and so many animals on the street.
Mm.
Sometimes in village, they have lack facility, so they don't have facility and they have a lack knowledge because peaceful mind. but they need the people, the children, the village people. They need more information about the animals and more education about the animals. Like so many people, they don't know the rabies vaccination. This is a small example. The rabies vaccination, right? So my project, I want to make a project to help all the people. Sometimes I want to go in the village, and I just want to bring some vaccination for the animals, and I just want to give them free vaccination, vaccination. This is good for the village people, the kids, and this is good for the animals too. So I have so many ambition, I have so many dreams. I will work with the animals.
Well,
So I want to put more information on my Facebook too.
okay, so I'm blessedly wishing you good success because yeah, it makes a difference. And so now, how can people get more information about the animals as well as how people can buy your book?
The last time I just put in the website, but
Mhm.
not yet. So people can buy through me, and people can buy through my Facebook page. And
Mhm.
next time when I finish to make those online, then I just want to put all the information in my Facebook. So just check my Facebook, and I will put more information on my Facebook. So that's the thing.
Okay. Well, say readers, now you know how to reach them and how to get more information and uh, this very insightful and thoughtful um, word about humans and animals. Because think of all of those of us who have pets and how they communicate. So hey, and in the wider sphere, the animals, it's no different. So, in closing, you have any last words to share with our viewers and readers?
So this is my book, right?
Mhm.
So my book, the title, the title of my book, Blessing by His Holiness Kamamba Rinpoche. So the title is in Tibetan language. So I want to read this one. Mida tundu bachi tsesem. That's my language, right? That means the affection between human and the animals. And I want to read a small message through my book.
Mhm.
So to my book, Amatsiki and Abasunam Chura, and also for those animals who cannot talk but feel. So Ama means mom, and Abba means dead in my language. So I never see my parents like many years. So they still live in Tibet. So that's why this that's what is the thing. So this small message. So everybody love their family, and I want to be a meaningful life because I know my family happy too. So that's the thing.
Yes. Well,
Thank
my
you so much.
thank you so much for being part of our show, and thank you for being an advocate for those who can't speak or the way we do. And okay, readers, again, you go to his website and purchase his book. I mean, I read it, I was inspired by it, and gives me a whole perspective regarding the animals on this planet. So, Mayong, thank you once again, and
Thank you so much, WD.
have an excellent day.
Thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you. Well, continuing with our conversation with Al McFarlane on this Book Chat Thursday, we also have our second guest, Sharon Smith Akinsanya. She is the CEO of Ray McKenzie Group, which is an award-winning diversity, equity, and inclusion marketing firm, and the founder of the People of Color Careers Social Hiring Network. And with over 20 years of experience in the DEI space, she has advised Fortune 500 companies, nonprofits, and top employers, including U.S. Bank, Make-A-Wish America, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Lynx, Anderson Windows and Doors, Thrivent, Midco, Best Buy, Target, Verizon Wireless, and more to help them build more authentic relationships with communities of color. And it is my pleasure to bring to you Sharon Smith Akin.
How you doing, WD?
Excellent. It's been an excellent day. How about yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you so much. Doing well. Glad to be here.
Great. We're glad to have you. So tell us something about your history.
Well, I am, like you said, the CEO of Ray McKenzie Group, which is an award-winning diversity, equity, and inclusion marketing firm. And what we do all day really is work with CEOs and major corporations and help them do a better job at building relationships with people of color. I'm also the founder of the People of Color Career Fair, and we do that primarily, WD, because we have our population is changing so dramatically. And it's really important for corporations to understand the value of having authentic relationships in order to move their businesses forward as it pertains to top talent, recruiting top talent, as well as being reflective of the communities they serve and to be able to introduce their products to new market segments. We have the buying power is just incredible. When you think about 1.4 trillion buying powers with the African American consumer, another 3 trillion buying powers with Latinos, 1.6 with Asians, so CEOs and corporations must understand in order to maintain their competitive edge, they really need to know how to build those authentic relationships. And that's what we do all day. And today, I'm also an official spokesperson for the Harris Walls campaign as well. So I'm happy to be doing that.
Oh, well, definitely, because we will be talking about that during the course of time here. Because I'm going to be the first to say my my following on this campaign has been limited. So I definitely appreciate you to be able to break it down as we go,
Sure.
as we talk.
Absolutely.
Now with the marketing group, when you established it, what did you see as your vision statement? I think you touched on it with an answer, but for clarification.
So we launched the Ray McKenzie Group in 1997 with the vision of when I moved to Minnesota, I saw that there was a real opportunity. At that time, we had 19 Fortune 500 companies. And I kept seeing that they were leaving so much money on the table and opportunity on the table by not having real solid relationships with people of color. I'm like, what are they doing? They're not really building those relationships. They're not understanding how to be culturally relevant and issue a proper invitation for us to buy their products. It was just a mess. So I thought, here's an opportunity for me to really stay here and educate our Minnesota corporations as to how to really do that and move the needle forward with their talent and with their marketing. And so that's how it started. So that was the vision. And the other thing, WD, was I kept seeing that Minnesota, we were attracting top talent and professionals of color to the region, but they would be here for 18 months and then leave. But it wasn't because of the weather. It was because of the lack of connectivity to the community and being able to really feel like, they had a place that they can call home. So I got busy really thinking about the retention aspect too, because it was tough for everybody to meet someone, and it gets cold in January. Everybody needs somebody to hug. Now I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And so it was, so I was like, wait, I really didn't want to see so many of us leaving because I knew that there was so much opportunity here. I believed, at least it was for me and many of my friends. And so I said, we got to do something to change this. And that's when I said to corporations, I mean, we have to not only recruit, but we got to figure out a way to work together to retain and making sure everybody is feeling connected to church, to the barbershop, to the beauty shop, to community, to relationships, social channels. And so that was the real mission. And so slowly that began to change and turn around because we started to do more things and make sure the information was out there about what the opportunity was to be here and meet new people. So that's been my mission, and it hasn't really changed in 25 years, 27 years, actually.
Yeah. Well, and then as someone who was born and raised here, I can appreciate your observations stuff, because you said you moved to Minnesota from
Yeah.
where?
So I came here from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
So my background is in radio, radio sales and advertising. So that's where I
Mhm.
got really excited about working with major corporations. And so when in my early radio sales days, my job was to really make sure that advertisers understood, why they should be spending money on my radio station, which primarily targeted the African American consumer. So
Mhm.
that's where I got really intrigued with it. I'm like, this is like a cool thing. So I
Mhm.
really want to kind of dig into that. And then I had a boyfriend, WD, who wanted to move to Minneapolis because he wanted to work for Prince.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, so I was like, okay, single, no kids. Let's just make the trek to Minneapolis. It's okay. And so I came to Minneapolis, and short story short, I started working for KDWB Radio,
Mhm.
which was the top pop radio station, if you will, in the market.
Mhm.
And one of the accounts that they gave me was Glam Slam, which, as you know, was Prince's nightclub if you were born and raised here. And so, and I wasn't a big Prince fan, but I started working with Glam Slam and got them on the air. And about 6 months after that, one of the bodyguards tapped me on the shoulder and said, "The boss wants to see you." And I said, "My boss is not up in here in this club, child. My boss is not here." And they're like, "No, the boss." He did the little head thing like that. And so Prince wanted to meet me. And
Mhm.
so again, short story short, I started working for Prince, and I lost my boyfriend.
Oh.
So I left the radio station, started working for Prince, and this was when he was wearing Slave on his face. He was the artist formerly known as.
Mhm.
So we, really worked with him on everything that had to do with nightclubs, because he loved having a party and always wanted to make sure that everything was pitch perfect. And so that was my job. Anything that had to do with him appearing at a nightclub, his or someone else's, I made sure that those parties were incredible. And then, as we lost him in 2016.
Right.
And I began to embark upon a 7-year journey, WD, to make sure that we had a Prince mural in downtown Minneapolis.
Mhm.
And so we then eventually, me and my team, raised the money to erect that 100-foot mural in downtown Minneapolis, and to get the 700 block of First Avenue with a commemorative street change to Prince Rogers Nelson Way.
Yes.
So I was able to do that for my brother, and I'm so proud of that.
Well, it is definitely appreciated, Sharon.
Thank
Definitely
you.
appreciated. So as you're talking, and I thought about, when you started the company, how has the change manifested to 2024 from the time it started in 1997?
Well, it's a great question. So what's changed is we started to focus. We obviously shifted to focus a lot on talent. One of the number one challenges in this region, and it has been for some time, is the competition for talent.
Hmm.
And my clients kept saying, "We just can't find talent. We can't find qualified professionals of color." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I began to really focus on making sure that our professionals here in our region had direct access to the hiring managers and the CEOs and the talent acquisition teams inside of our major corporations, so that we can catapult our careers. Because that it's not just about who you know, but it's about who knows you. And so I decided to launch in October of 2016 the People of Color Career Fair, which is the best networking in town, period, when it comes to making sure professionals and employers are connected. Because when we get together, what happens is the employers are able to expand their network by getting to know people like me and you. And the professionals are able to say, "Listen, I know that TA direct hiring manager at Target, at US Bank, at Midco." So I am really making sure that we are connected. So even if you're employed or not, unemployed. You got to be ready, because if you're always ready, you don't have to get ready, because you don't know what's going to happen. And so a lot of times people will call me and says, oh my goodness, I don't have a network and I just lost my job. And so those are the tough ones. You got to have relationships. People like to hire who they know, right? And so we want to always be in the game. And that's that's been the biggest shift, making sure that we've been focused on talent, getting people in the room with people who don't look like each other, building strong relationships. And that's when the magic happens, when you can touch shoulder to shoulder. And we do a lot of event experiences. I produce Celebrating the Sisters, where we celebrate the infinite impact of Black women. So my company really is focused on making sure that I'm the voice in the room with the CEOs, policymakers, and really pushing that agenda forward to make sure we're recognized for the value that we have and the contributions that we're making to this region.
Yeah, most definitely appreciate it, because we definitely are. If there's a need there and you're meeting the need. I want to take a moment to say a shout out to Michelle Delicious Delights, one of our subscribers. She's saying hi to you, Sharon.
Hi, Michelle.
She said, "Yep, that's my trade as well."
Good to see you.
So it's always good to have you. And said Stacy Brown of Let It Be Known News is a huge Sprints fan.
Yay.
So you mentioned, now you're talking about the Harris-Walz campaign. So tell us more.
Well, I mean, I think we know, right? I mean, we know that Joe Biden decided to not run for re-election and to drop out of the race and endorse his sitting vice president, Kamala Harris. And so for the last, I guess it's just been like 30 days, right? It's just been a whirlwind with Vice President Harris having to pick a running mate, which she chose our governor, Tim Walz. And they have been barnstorming. They had to put together a convention. So we've just coming off of a very successful convention in Chicago, where we had to really make sure that we unified the party, the Democratic Party, make sure that we introduced Kamala to the world, make sure we introduced our Governor Tim Walz to the world, and have a platform for, the Republicans that were coming out for Kamala, a platform for celebrities. And, so it's just been barnstorming. And then they left there and, went to the battleground states and then rested up a couple days. And now here we are. They just did a bus tour through Georgia, through southern Georgia, those counties and districts where Democrats don't usually go. We usually hang out in Atlanta. And so, but Vice President Harris and Governor Walz believes that we can not lose as much in some of those rural counties. So if we can shave off, some of the margins and not lose as much in those rural counties, that we'll be able to possibly win Georgia in the way that we did in 2020. So I think that she's doing a rally in Savannah today, and then we'll be sitting for an interview with CNN's Dana Bash, which we can all watch tonight at 9:00 Eastern, as she sits down for her first interview since she's been the Democratic nominee, along with her vice presidential nominee, Tim Walz. So that should be pretty interesting. But what I'm excited about is the joy. I'm excited about the positive nature of the campaign, talking about the future of our people, the future, and making sure that we're focused on the middle class and the working class, making sure that we have affordable prescription drugs. She's already started on some of that with Joe Biden. And then they just got another 10 sets of prescription drugs reduced, which will be launched in September of 26. It's just too expensive for our seniors to have to make a decision between food and medicine. And so I'm really excited that she's focused on reducing the cost of prescription drugs. And we have a housing issue. We need to make sure that rent is reduced. We need to make sure that there's an additional housing stock so more of us can have the opportunity for generational wealth. And the way to do that is through home ownership. And we need an opportunity for more of us to buy those homes. And so she is saying that if she's elected president of the United States, she will give 20 for those who qualify, $25,000 to help with the down payment. And there are some programs in place right now. You probably know the American Dream mortgage. Those are lots of things that are happening already, but not enough of us are getting into that space. So her focus is to make sure that we all have the opportunity, and she calls it the opportunity economy, that we all have the opportunity to have access to what makes this nation great. And we do live in the greatest nation on earth, even though sometimes it doesn't feel like it. It truly is. And we have the opportunity to make it what we need to make it. And I'm also excited about the fact that she's focusing on women and reproductive rights. I mean, I'm just really concerned about the fact that, a third of the women in our nation don't have access to reproductive health, and that we're moving in a direction where we don't have any control over what to say about what happens to our own bodies, and that's just not okay. And so she's been actually working on that for the past 3 years, been the primary spokesperson for the Biden Harris administration on reproductive health, because we all know that Donald Trump appointed 3 Supreme Court justices with the fully intent to be in the majority and to overturn Roe. And that's exactly what happened. And so they're ready to do more of that in Project 2025. And if you don't know what that is, please look it up. It is the blueprint for the Trump agenda, should we allow him to be president once again. So I'm just excited that we have Governor Tim Walz, who believes what he believes as well. And that is, I mean, who can argue over making sure all of our children can eat free breakfast and lunch at school before they begin? Who can argue with that? And that means no matter what your socioeconomic background. In Minnesota, every child that's in a public school will have free breakfast and free lunch. That is amazing. And obviously we were one of the first states, if not the first, to say we're not having that Roe. When they overturn Roe, we're going to make sure that women's health care and abortion rights are codified in this region. So excited that he is bringing, all of his experience, his military service, the fact that he was a high school football coach, and all of that to bear to support her amazing record of being a district attorney, an attorney general, and then a senator, and now our sitting vice president. So I am looking forward to the fact when she can say, I am Kamala Harris for the people. And that's how she thinks about it. So breaking it down, we just need to make sure that we have a plan to vote. Our early voting starts, I think, September 20th here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to have a plan and make sure our friends, no matter who you vote for, make sure our friends they know that they can vote and how to vote. In Minnesota, ex-felons can vote. So we want to make sure they all know that they can vote and their rights have been restored, thanks to Senator Bobby Joe Champion and our majority in the Senate and in the House. So we really want to make sure that we all have the right. I mean, freedom is the name of the day. WD, freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You should have the freedom to live your best life. And so we have to take some responsibility and know what we're able to do. And voting is a way to get that done. So dig into it and make sure your family members can vote, where they vote, how to vote early. Get 5 or 6 people to the polls, because not so much in Minnesota, but in some states where we have friends and family, a lot is going on to suppress the right to vote and to subvert this results of this election. So be informed, Google it, read about it, and make sure you're prepared. But I do believe that the Harris-Walz ticket can bring us a new way forward. I'm just exhausted with all of this negativity and this bickering. It's exhausting, and we do deserve better. And in order for us to deserve better, we got to fight for it. So just like Kamala says, when we fight, we win.
Indeed, when we fight, we win.
Mm-hmm.
So as I said, you described the things we can do so far as voting. There's the early voting, getting the word out, just and making a plan to get to the polls, etc. And now, what are some other things that those of us out here can do to support Kamala and Tim?
Well, if you go to kamalaharris.com, it shows you how to get involved in the campaign. But one of the things that I've done is make sure I took a small budget, okay, to make sure that the campaign is able to fight by having the money and the resources that it needs to be able to advertise and hire people in the battleground states. We know this is going to be fought through Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, and now Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. So we've expanded the map, which is good for us. But we need people that can knock on doors and make calls, not only in Minnesota, but across the nation. And you can find out how to get involved at kamalaharris.com. If you saw Michelle Obama's speech at the convention, Michelle Obama said, don't be waiting on folks to ask you. Consider yourself asked to be involved. And she said, do something. Do something. And that do something really is talk about this with your neighbors. Just make sure that they are aware that they have options. Talk about Project 2025. Make sure they look that up if they're so inclined to vote for Donald Trump, because Project 2025 is not just bad for people of color, it's bad for America.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just look it up. I mean, we're talking about hiring an abortion czar, right, to keep track of whether or not women all over the nation are getting abortions, so that they can be reported out or arrested. It's the craziest thing, you guys. You really need to be informed. So Project 2025, check it out. It is not good for us. So the things that we can do is to talk about it. Make sure that we know, our neighbors know when early voting is. Take some people to the polls with you. Call your friends and family that live in other states. Make sure that they are aware of the stakes in this election. Couldn't be higher. We're talking about democracy and our freedom. It's really a serious thing. It's not hyperbole. He is serious about being a dictator, not just for one day, but an autocrat. He cozies up to Putin and to, Viktor Orban and to Kim Jong. Who does that? Now, an American president has never done that before in my lifetime. And most of the conversation centered around he and his running mate, J.D. Vance, has to do with the fact that they don't believe in America. They're talked down about America, that we're doing bad and we're not competitive. I mean, that is just terrible. So we need an optimistic future. We want a president that can bring optimism and hope and change for the future. And that's what I believe we get with the Harris-Walz campaign. In fact, I know it. The joy is palpable and I'm ready to fight. So do something in whatever you can do. Drive somebody, talk to somebody, whatever that works for you, do something, but you can't sit this one out.
There you go. There you go, Sharon. So that being said, what would you see as a state of Black leadership in this mix?
Oh, big time. Oh my goodness. So Black leadership. Well, first of all, Kamala would be the first Black Indian, if you will, female. So it's all kinds of stuff mixed up in her president. So she's starting with that. And then, of course, she is a member of one of our Divine Nine sororities. So we got a lot of Black leadership, so, and we've got a deep bench. I mean, think about Barack and Michelle Obama. Think about the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore. Just think about it. We got Maxine Waters. We have so much leadership in Black leadership in making sure that we help get Kamala and Tim over the finish line. And I know y'all heard about all the Zooms, Black women for Kamala. The first night that she announced on a Sunday, I remember Sunday 1:45, Biden announced that he was going to drop out. And that night there was 44,000 women on a Zoom and another 100,000, just talking about what are we going to do and how are we going to help? And just, this is amazing. So there's a lot of Black leadership, from Mark Morial to Reverend Sharon, everybody's out there making sure that this is going to happen and that our agenda, the Black agenda, is being met. We have the leaders of the Congressional Black Caucus. Here locally, we've got Keith Ellison, right? Our Attorney General. We got Senator Bobby Joe Champion. Okay. We have Ilhan. We have all, we just have so much. You and me. We're all leaders. We're all leaders. Everybody listening, everybody watching. We all got our Black jobs. and we need to be doing them. Okay.
Yes.
And making sure that we do not sit this one out. I'm so proud of us as a people. We've done so much. I think about the speeches from, Congressman Jasmine Clopton and so many. We are just not afraid. And we need to get out there. And Black women have always been the backbone to the Democratic Party. And we've done so much. But our Black men, they are coming on strong. They're coming on strong. And we need you. We need you also supporting this work, making sure your friends and family members know. We need everybody. We know what it takes. We're not afraid of hard work. We need to get out and do the work and fight for what we deserve. We are a part of the American fabric too. Our ancestors helped build this nation, and we deserve to make sure that we are taking advantage of everything that it has to offer. Everything, because only in America is Kamala's story even possible. Barack Obama's story even possible. And so, greatest nation on earth, I say, let's get out there and get it done. Let's work together, love on one another, check on your neighbors, talk to them, and make sure that they know what they need to do, where they can empower themselves to be a part of this process. How exciting.
It is an exciting time. And I think one of the phrases that came out of the convention is, we're not going back.
We're not going back. We're going forward. Anybody trying to go back? We are moving. We are marching forward. We are going forward. And like I said, we just have to do something, in the words of Michelle Obama, and in the words of Oprah Winfrey. I think her line was, let's choose common sense over nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's choose common sense over nonsense. Then that just makes too much sense. We see what's happening.
Yeah.
So let's just choose common sense over nonsense and make sure we're also voting down the ballot, because if, she doesn't have a majority in the Senate, majority in the House, it's going to be tough to legislate, right? So we need to make sure that we're also choosing our right representatives down ballot. So in Minnesota, that will be Senator Amy Klobuchar, for example. We want to send her back to Washington, D.C. So not only do we want to vote for Kamala, we want to vote for Amy as well. Tina's not up this year, but we want to make sure that we're doing that, because we do need a majority in the Senate, and it's razor thin.
That is so true, because oftentimes you hear people say, oh, we're just going to vote for the president and vice president. But it goes down to not only that, but state and local levels as well, that we need to support.
Absolutely. So don't forget, look and see who your senators are, no matter where you're watching, all over this nation. See who you need to vote for. Make sure you have a plan to vote. Get that sample ballot. Look everybody up. See who it is. This is our civic duty, our civic responsibility. This is what make democracies. Our ability to be able to choose our elected officials and not have them choose us.
That is so true, because, hey, as I've often said, even to my son, this is our opportunity to make our voices heard.
Absolutely.
And every voice counts. So Sharon, thank you so much for sharing about diversity, equity, and inclusion. And thank you so much about what you're doing with Kamala and Tim, and the importance of voting, having a plan, what we need to do. And what's the word Michelle said? Do something.
Do something.
Do something.
Let's do something. I don't care what it is. Just do something.
And as we close, I got a message from Michelle. It said that this broadcast has been both informative and interesting as usual. Great guests. And she says, forward forever, backwards never.
Never. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for that. Michelle, can I borrow that? Forward forever, backwards never. I'll attribute it to you, Michelle. I love
Okay.
it. I love it.
Thank you once again, Sharon. This is
Thank you so much.
WD. This is WD Foster Graham, Conversations with Al McFarlane for a Book Chat Thursday edition. Thank you to my wonderful guest, and we'll see you in the next go round.